After my uncle's family died in a tragic accident, my cousin Gia moved into our house. To make up for the loss of her parents, my mom and dad treated her like a princess. Everything Gia owned was off limits to me. I wasn't even allowed to dream about touching her things. One summer break, I stared at the new designer bathtub my parents had just bought for her. I only looked at it for a second. Gia immediately had a total breakdown and started sobbing. "Reina, you can have all these things if you want them. Just please, can you give me my parents back?" Hearing that, my parents' faces twisted with guilt and rage. My mom rushed over and slapped me hard across the face. "Why are you so wretched? Have you never taken a bath in your life? Why do you have to eye your cousin's things?" My face burned with a stinging pain. From that day on, I didn't even dare to glance at anything that belonged to her. Then came the day Gia actually invited me to take a soak in her tub. I was so excited that I stepped in with one leg, moving as carefully as I could. But the warmth I expected never came. Instead, a bone-chilling cold shot up from my toes to my hips. I tried to pull my leg back, but Gia gave me a violent shove from behind. She slammed the bathroom door and locked it from the outside. "Since you love other people's things so much, you jealous brat, you can soak in there until you're satisfied." I lost my footing. My head slammed against the sharp edge of the tub. A warm liquid began to trickle down my forehead before being swallowed by the freezing water. I don't know how much time passed before I felt myself floating. Outside the door, I heard Gia starting her act. "Uncle, Auntie, Reina took over my bathtub. She's hiding in there and won't come out." At the front door, my parents had just finished work. Their faces were etched with exhaustion. When she heard Gia, my mom's expression turned monstrous. She didn't even bother taking off her shoes. She stomped through the living room to the bathroom door and started screaming. "Reina Shaw, can't you give me a single moment of peace? You're always trying to steal from your cousin. Have you no shame?" Mom hammered on the door so hard it sounded like thunder. I was standing right next to her, shaking my head like a toy. "Mom, I didn't." She invited me in. Gia's eyes were rimmed with red. "It's okay, Auntie. Reina is still young. It's only right that I give her everything." She wiped away a tear and let out a small sob. "It's my fault for being an outsider. If I weren't here, all these things would be hers." My dad frowned and rushed to Gia's side. "Who said you're an outsider? Who told you that?" Gia's eyes widened, and she covered her mouth as if she'd accidentally let a secret slip. "Uncle, Auntie, it wasn't Reina. Please, don't blame her." My parents exchanged a look. The fire in their eyes grew even hotter. "Reina, get out here right now. Don't you dare play dead in there. How did I raise someone so classless? How could you call your sister an outsider? Let me tell you something. In this house, you're the one acting like an outsider. You have no right to speak to her that way." The only response was a heavy, dead silence. Inside the room, my eyes were wide open. I was lying in the tub I had dreamed of using just once. Beneath me, the water had turned a deep, sickening crimson. My parents tried to force the handle. "You actually locked the door? Just you wait." They turned around to find the spare key. As they reached the door with the key in hand, Gia suddenly let out a loud cry. "Uncle, Auntie, please don't be mad at Reina. In this house, you're all Shaws. I'm the only Sean. If I'm not an outsider, then what am I?" My parents were startled by her sudden outburst. The key slipped from my mom's fingers and fell right into the trash can next to the door. Terrified of Gia being hurt, Mom pulled her into a tight hug. "Gia, honey, I haven't been thoughtful enough. Don't worry. Tomorrow, I'm taking you to the office to legally change your last name." Dad chimed in immediately. "Gia, in my heart, you will always come first." A flash of disgust crossed Mom's face as she looked back at the bathroom door. She spoke through gritted teeth. "Reina, I never thought you could be so cruel at such a young age. Your cousin has worked so hard to fit into this family and you treat her like trash. I can't believe you're my child." Dad let out a cold snort, his voice rising. "If she loves soaking so much, let her stay in there. Gia, honey, your aunt and I are taking you to get some McDonald's." They both looked at the door, expecting a reaction. Usually, if I heard the word McDonald's, I would have come running out, begging them to take me along. But now, I couldn't eat a single thing. Gia gripped my dad's hand with teary eyes. "Uncle, I'm hungry. Let's go get some fries."